Ladies and gentlemen, imagine waking up one day realizing you've spent years chasing someone else's idea of success, copying habits you thought were harmless, only to find they were silently steering you off course. Now ask yourself, how many of your daily actions are truly yours? We all start with ambition, with drive, with hope, but somewhere along the way, the wrong voices start whispering. The wrong examples become our models, and without even noticing, we begin adopting habits that slowly poison our potential. Some look like confidence but breed arrogance. Others seem like relaxation but disguise laziness. Can you spot the difference? Today, I'll take you through 7 dangerous habits you might already have. Born from bad influence, disguised as normal, some will shock you. Others might make you laugh nervously and say, "Wait, do I do that?" And just when you think you've identified them all, the last one will change the way you see your circle forever. So before these habits harden into identity, let's break the pattern and take back control, because the cost of inaction isn't discomfort, it's the slow death of your dreams. We often believe that success is simply the result of strong willpower, clear goals, and consistent hard work. While these factors are important, they are not the most powerful forces shaping our behavior. The truth is, your environment plays a far greater role in determining your habits than your intentions ever will. You might wake up with a strong desire to be productive, but if your surroundings are filled with distractions, negativity, or people who do not support your goals, your motivation can quickly fade. It's not because you're weak or undisciplined, it's because you're human, and humans adapt to the environments they are placed in. Think of a seed. No matter how much potential it holds, it cannot grow into a strong tree if planted in toxic soil. It needs sunlight, clean water, and good soil to thrive. In the same way, your mind and your habits are shaped by the soil. You live in your surroundings, your daily routines, and especially the people you interact with. If you're constantly around people who waste time, complain, and avoid accountability, it's only a matter of time before their behavior starts to influence you, even if subtly. You pick up on their language, their thinking patterns, and slowly your standards begin to match theirs. Habits are rarely formed in isolation. They are responses to triggers in your environment. If your phone is always within arm's reach, you're more likely to check it mindlessly. If your social circle normalizes skipping responsibilities or avoiding discomfort, your brain starts to associate that behavior with normalcy. It doesn't matter how many self-help books you read or motivational videos you watch, if your environment is working against you, progress will feel like swimming against a current. You might make it a few strokes forward, but eventually you'll tire out. This is why so many people struggle to break bad habits. They try to change themselves without changing what surrounds them. They stay in the same rooms with the same influences, expecting a different outcome. But habits are not just decisions, they are reflections of what is repeated around us. If you place yourself in a high-performance environment where people value growth, focus, and discipline, you'll find that those same traits become easier to adopt. You don't have to force them, they start to feel natural because they're reinforced daily. Your standard rises not just through effort, but through exposure. The same goes for toxic environments. Even with good intentions, you'll start to bend, compromise, and adapt in small, unnoticed ways. You won't even realize how much you've changed until you look back and ask, "How did I get here?" This is why awareness is critical. You need to audit not just your goals, but the space you're living them in. The noise, the energy, the culture, it all matters. You might have the heart to grow, but if your environment doesn't support that growth, you'll always feel stuck in a cycle of starting over. Confidence is often celebrated as one of the key traits of a successful leader. It gives people the ability to speak with authority, make decisions under pressure, and inspire others to follow them. But there's a subtle, dangerous line between genuine confidence and ego disguised as leadership. While confidence is rooted in self-awareness and humility, ego is driven by the need to appear superior, to dominate rather than guide, and to control rather than empower. Many people confuse the two because, on the surface, they can look the same. A loud voice, bold decisions, and unwavering certainty can all appear as signs of strength. But if they lack empathy, openness, and respect, they're more likely coming from ego than true leadership. Ego wants to be right. Confidence wants to get it right. That difference changes everything. A confident leader listens before they speak, asks questions before giving orders, and encourages feedback even when it's uncomfortable. Ego, on the other hand, shuts down dissent, interprets questions as threats, and treats vulnerability as weakness. What makes this dangerous is how society often rewards ego-driven behavior, mistaking it for strength or decisiveness. In group settings, ego can dominate conversations, control outcomes, and even manipulate others, all under the false image of leadership. But real leadership is about service, not self-promotion. The disguise of ego is especially common in environments where appearances matter more than authenticity. People start performing rather than leading, seeking applause over results, and valuing control over collaboration. They may talk about teamwork, but their actions reveal that they only value their own voice. This kind of false confidence can be contagious. It sets a tone where others feel the need to prove themselves rather than grow. It creates a culture of fear where people stay silent not because they agree, but because they don't feel safe challenging the person in charge. That's not leadership, that's intimidation dressed in charisma. True confidence is quiet. It doesn't need validation to feel secure. It's built on experience, on learning from mistakes, and on the ability to say, I don't know, without shame. It gives space for others to rise, to contribute, and to grow. It's not threatened by talent, but inspired by it. Ego, in contrast, always needs to be the loudest, the smartest, the most admired. It struggles with delegation, resists correction, and often masks insecurity behind a smile and a firm handshake. We live in a world where personal branding and social media often encourage exaggerated versions of ourselves. It becomes tempting to perform confidence, to project certainty, even when we're unsure. But leadership isn't about the show, it's about the substance. You can't fake humility, and you can't lead others well if you haven't learned to lead yourself first. Recognizing the difference between confidence and ego isn't just important for those in charge, it's important for anyone deciding who to follow, who to trust, and who to become. In today's world, entertainment has become more accessible and addictive than ever. Whether it's scrolling through social media, binge-watching TV shows, playing video games, or simply seeking distractions, entertainment often takes precedence over more important disciplined actions. While there's nothing wrong with occasional relaxation, when it becomes the primary focus, it can quietly chip away at your potential, holding you back from achieving your dreams. What begins as a harmless pastime can turn into a habit that drains your time, energy, and focus, leaving you with little room for progress toward your goals. The reality is, most people don't realize how powerful this shift in priorities can be until it's too late. They're so caught up in the allure of immediate gratification that they ignore the long-term cost of neglecting discipline. Entertainment feeds your desire for short bursts of pleasure, but discipline provides the foundation for long-term success. When you choose entertainment over discipline, you're sacrificing your future for a temporary escape. The short-term relief entertainment provides can quickly become addictive. Social media, for example, gives you the thrill of instant feedback, likes, and comments, but at the end of the day, it doesn't add any tangible value to your life or contribute to your personal growth. The same applies to binge-watching shows or scrolling through endless videos online. It feels good in the moment, but leaves you feeling unproductive and unsatisfied afterward. This is where the problem lies. Entertainment feels harmless, but it becomes a silent killer of your dreams by filling your time with things that don't push you forward. When you consistently choose entertainment over discipline, you're unknowingly training your brain to prioritize instant gratification over delayed rewards. This mindset is dangerous because it creates a cycle of procrastination and unfulfilled potential. You keep telling yourself, I'll work on my goals tomorrow, but tomorrow never comes. Instead, you keep getting lost in distractions that temporarily fill the gap, making it even harder to return to the hard work necessary for success. The longer this pattern goes on, the harder it becomes to break free from it, and the more your dreams slip further out of reach. The cost of this habit isn't just missed opportunities, it's the erosion of your self-discipline and motivation, two crucial factors for achieving anything meaningful. The world is full of distractions designed to keep you entertained, but the truly successful people know how to resist the pull of these diversions. They understand that entertainment, while enjoyable, is not a substitute for the discipline required to accomplish their goals. They make time for work, learning, and self-improvement, even when it's difficult. They know that the satisfaction of achieving something significant far outweighs the fleeting pleasure of entertainment. Discipline isn't easy, but it's the bridge between where you are now and where you want to be. Entertainment, on the other hand, keeps you in the moment but prevents you from ever reaching your full potential. The silent dream killer is not a sudden, dramatic event, it's the gradual erosion of time and focus. Every minute spent on mindless entertainment is a minute that could have been used to develop a skill, create something meaningful, or take steps toward a goal. In the long run, entertainment may provide temporary pleasure, but discipline will provide lasting fulfillment. If you allow entertainment to dictate your priorities, you may wake up one day realizing that the dreams you once had are no longer within reach, and the time you had to pursue them is gone. The people you surround yourself with, the voices you listen to, and the individuals you choose to follow have an immense impact on the direction your life takes. Whether you realize it or not, these influences shape your thoughts, actions, and ultimately your destiny. We often underestimate the power of our associations, believing that we can walk our own path regardless of those around us. However, the truth is that the people we follow, whether in real life or through media, mentors, or even friends, play a central role in how we view the world and how we navigate it. If you surround yourself with individuals who inspire growth, challenge you to think differently, and push you toward becoming a better version of yourself, you are far more likely to reach your full potential. On the other hand, if your circle consists of those who limit your thinking, feed you negativity, or encourage complacency, you will find yourself stagnant, stuck in patterns that hold you back from the future you desire. Think about it. Your beliefs, values, and habits are often shaped by the people you spend the most time with. When you follow someone, you are essentially adopting their mindset, their approach to life, and their set of priorities. This influence can be subtle but powerful. If you follow someone who always talks about overcoming obstacles, who approaches challenges with a mindset of growth and resilience, you are more likely to adopt that same mindset. But if you follow people who are constantly complaining, playing the victim, or avoiding responsibility, you begin to see the world through that lens. You start believing that challenges are obstacles, that success is luck, and that effort is futile. In this way, the people you choose to follow set the standard for what you consider normal, what you believe is possible, and what you think is worthy of your time and energy. This influence goes beyond just your immediate social circle. It extends to the mentors, leaders, and even public figures you admire. The content you consume, the books you read, the podcasts you listen to, all play a role in shaping the way you think, and by extension, the actions you take. For instance, if you follow someone who is always focused on building their business, making strategic decisions, and seeking new opportunities, you will start to adopt a similar drive. But if you follow someone who prioritizes comfort, avoiding risks, or making excuses, you might begin to settle for mediocrity in your own life. This is why it's so crucial to be intentional about who you follow, both online and in person. It's not just about who you admire, but about who is guiding your thought process and shaping your reality. The people you follow also influence your level of accountability. When you choose to align yourself with those who hold themselves to high standards, who are disciplined, and who take ownership of their actions, you naturally start to adopt those same behaviors. But if you surround yourself with individuals who lack discipline, who are constantly making excuses, or who avoid responsibility, it becomes far too easy to follow suit. You begin to lower your own standards because it feels normal when everyone else is doing the same. You may not even realize how much your circle's mindset is impacting you until you look back and realize that the habits, attitudes, and outcomes you've accepted are a direct reflection of the people you chose to follow. The path you walk in life is not solely determined by your own choices, it's heavily influenced by the ones you make regarding the people you allow to influence you. Whether you want to be successful, fulfilled, or happy, the people you follow will either propel you forward or keep you stuck. The quality of your life is directly tied to the quality of the people you choose to spend your time with and the influences you allow to shape your beliefs. So be mindful of who you follow because they will ultimately determine where you end up.